Good day, YouTube. This is Jay Money with Falling Forward Financial. Just an update here on High Tide. Didn't want to take a break from YouTube, but just been working a lot and hanging out with a girlfriend and some other stuff, but back to making some videos tonight. So High Tide, that's one of my favorite MJ plays. If you follow my channel, you know I'm into about every MJ play out there. Some are better than others. I'll link all those in the description. You can find those all in the library. I've done a couple videos on High Tide here in the past, and I finally got some shares of High Tide. So, but this is High Tide. They started off ticker HITIF, and then I think it went to HITID, and now they're on the major exchanges with HITI, and you can see that happened back in June. Ran up a little bit. We're in the 870 range and dropped down and went back up and came back down, so it hasn't really recovered those highs, but that's fine with me. It gives me an opportunity, and if you decide to buy some shares, and so that's what I decided to do. But here you can kind of see what it's done over the last year. The last 3 months just been kind of up and down, so I mean, you could even trade this one if you wanted to, if you knew how to do it. So it's kind of up and down, so I'm just purchasing it, holding it like all the other MJ plays. So hopefully it'll continue to go up after I get some more shares, but it's up over 12% in the last month, up about 19% in the last week, so not too bad of a last week. So if you'd have got in there and held it or sold it or whatever you're going to do with it, but again, this is High Tide. As you can see, I got 10 shares here in Robinhood, cost basis of $5.48. Again, this is an MJ play, manufacturing retail of smoking accessories and lifestyle products, operates through the following segments: wholesale, retail, and corporate. The retail segment represents by brands including Canna Cabana, New Leaf, Meta, MJ Company, Kush Bar, Grass City, Smoke Cartel, and CBD City. Founded in 2009, headquartered in Calgary, Alberta. There's the CEO. Here's kind of some of market cap is almost $340 million. If we can get that price up there, that will break that 340. The 52-week low of $1.81 and high of $13.29. So kind of a spread in there. But here's the last earnings, and next one is expected on December 17th. So we'll see what happens on that date. Here's where I bought my 10 shares back in October, so you can see what it's done since then. Almost went up $1. So, and I got some other articles here. High Tide expands Canna Cabana store footprint in Saskatchewan and Ontario. And this one, every time I talk about it, it's just growing and just getting higher and higher. So that's why they call it High Tide. This is back on October 25th, so a little bit outdated, but still kind of relevant if you're looking at High Tide. So again, they're a leading retail-focused MJ play with bricks and mortar as well as global e-commerce assets. Announced today that it's Canna Cabana retail MJ stores located at 2223 Victoria Avenue East in Regina, Saskatchewan, and 14 Martindale Crescent in Hamilton, Ontario, have begun selling recreational MJ products for adult use. These openings bring High Tide's total number of branded retail locations across Canada to 103. I think when I first started talking about High Tide, there were 85, almost 90 stores. I think their projection to hit 115 at the end of the year, so getting closer and closer, including 6 in Saskatchewan and 31 in Ontario, so they're just all over the place in Ontario. Selling recreational MJ products and consumption accessories, the new Canna Cabana store in Regina is High Tide's second to open in the community, Saskatchewan's capital and second largest city with a population of over 230,000. So it should bring some traffic in with that amount of people. So it's located in Victoria Square Shopping Center. So if you're near that or in Ontario or have been in the High Tide, you can go ahead and list that in the comments. So, second to open in that community, which is Canada's 10th largest city with a population of 535,000, is located within the Meadowlands Power Center. And there's their emblem. So very pleased to see customers in Regina and Hamilton will be able to access our unique MJ Discount Club experience for all their MJ products consumption and accessory needs. And I like talking about this one. It just seems like they just keep growing. They have an eye on the United States for sure. Whenever the U.S. decides to go on the federal level, I think this company is just going to explode in the United States. That's why I've been following it as close as I have, and I'm just going to continue to scroll if you would like to read the rest of that. So, again, I always like their names and their websites, cbdcity.com, fabcbd.com, and blessedcbd.co.uk. And as always, the key industry investors in High Tide are Tilray, which I've talked about numerous times, and Aurora. So I'm still in the red on Aurora. So kicking the butt, Aurora. Used to be my favorite, and then it was Afria, which is now Tilray. So it's kind of a toss-up between High Tide and Tilray for me now, which is my favorite. But as you follow my channel, I have all the ETFs as well, MSOS, MJ. There's another ticker, and so on. Some of the other ones aren't coming to me right now, but I'll go ahead and link those all in the description for you to check those out. High Tide's latest move, another game changer. This is dated on the 1st. Just over a year ago, High Tide completed the acquisition of Metagrowth, a major strategic move in the company's history, which firmly positioned as one of Canada's leading MJ retailers. Company's latest actions could prove just as vital, claims Andrew Simpler, a 5-star analyst of Echelon. Last week, the company announced its plans on turning all its Canadian branded stores to a discount club model where members of its Cabana Club loyalty program will be offered substantial price savings. By doing so, High Tide hopes to win defendable market share. After considering the market conditions and the preferences of consumers, we believe this decision will be positive for High Tide. The announcement firmly cements management's near-term focus on market share gains within the MJ retail segment. And so again, this has been one of my favorites for a couple months. I just started buying shares. I was into quite a few other stocks at the time and sold some stuff and bought some of High Tide, and so I'm going to continue to keep buying it as I think it's going to go up, and it's got great ratings, which we'll go over here in a moment. So, but if you have High Tide, go ahead and list that in the comments along with your cost basis and any other information you want to share on High Tide. And as you can see right there, we'll go over that in a moment. So that's just great ratings. High Tide is the Costco of MJ expands into the UK. I've been following High Tide for a while now. The Calgary, Alberta-based, Canada-based MJ company is one of the more interesting pod companies out there, and it keeps getting better. You never know from the HITI stock, though while High Tide stock is up 193% year over year and 80% year to date, it's down by 35% over the last 6 months. So it's still up, but yet it's been down. So I always look at that as a buying opportunity. So. But there's every reason to think the trajectory of High Tide will reverse over the coming quarters. Even stodgy Wall Street is increasingly bullish on High Tide stock, of the analyst providing a 12-month share price forecast. The average target is $13.85 with a high target of $15. This suggests potential upside of 157% and 178% respectively. Even the analyst's lowest target of 12 suggests High Tide stock would advance a whopping 122% over the next year. So if I had to pick an MJ stock, of course I like the ETFs. You get a small dividend. They're a little bit safer, but if I were just to play a single stock, it would definitely be High Tide. So here's some more information about High Tide. Is a vertically integrated MJ company with operations in Canada and the United States and other countries. Is the first non-franchise Canadian MJ retailer to surpass 100-store milestone, giving it the largest MJ retail network in the Great White North. The company's operations include a dominant Canadian MJ retail chain, a global manufacturer and distributor of cutting-edge MJ consumption accessories, and 3 of the 5 more popular accessory e-commerce platforms in the world. And just as I pointed out in my other videos, they have the e-commerce platforms where you can order, and so you got to be online these days. I don't care if it's MJ or what products, you just got to be online and be able to get into the e-commerce. That's always going to boost your sales and everything. So that's another reason why I like this company, is they're kind of on the cutting edge of e-commerce, and just got to stay up to date with everything. So poised to be the Costco of MJ. High Tide recently announced that it is pivoting its highly successful retail network of Canna Cabana stores in Canada toward a discount retail club model. High Tide Costco Wholesale is a retail club with a loyal base of 110 million members who are more willing to pay for the privilege of shopping in the no-frills warehouse-style stores. The company's membership retention rate hovers around 90%. So very interesting how they're considering High Tide the Costco of MJ. So very interesting. Is now a good time to invest in High Tide? You just have to watch it and figure that out for yourself. This is dated on the 6th, as you can see, so just a couple days ago. High Tide shares rose in value on Friday on 11.5, with the stock price down negative or minus of 0.62% to the previous day close, as a strong demand from buyers drove the stock to $6.42. Actively observing the price movement, and the last trading in the stock closed the session at $6.46, falling within a range of $6.14 to $6.19. The value of the beta 5-year monthly was 1.07, referring to stock's 52-week performance, high of $13.29 and low of $1.80. On the whole, the High Tide has fluctuated 6.82% over the past month. So quite a range. Like I said, you could even trade this one if I was thinking about it one day, but I'm too busy during the day to watch it. So if I can catch one, I'll try it, but been too busy during trading hours, so not much information there on Reddit. Over here to Stock Twits, like I said, the low of a 181, high of 1329, market cap of almost 342 million, and 451,000 shares being traded. So it's kind of interesting. Daylight saving times ends 2 a.m. Set your clocks back. Yes, one of my least favorite things to do this time of year, and then it's dark at 5 o'clock. High Tide stock forecast and price targets. A strong buy, can't beat that, and upside 115% of to 1382. High of 15, low of 12. That's still kicking butt there at 12. So, but that's all that I have on High Tide. Like I said, if you have any shares of High Tide, go ahead and list that in the comments, along with your cost basis, any other information you want to share. And if there's any other videos you want me to make a video on, I'd be happy to take a look at that. And I thank you for watching. Happy trading, happy investing, stay green. Cheers.